Moderator for the Keep Six YouTube series. Keep Six is an organization that provides mentorship, coaching, counseling for youth who we're trying to steer out of the criminal justice system, as well as those who have been recently incarcerated, trying to provide mentoring for them as well. So I'm proud to be here. It's an honor to share some insights and to introduce some wonderful individuals in the community. And today we are going to be focusing on the topic how to support Black-owned businesses here in Toronto, Canada. So again, I'm Nikkie Clarke, and I am the founder and host of the Nikkie Clarke Show. I am also one of the directors of Keep Six, and again, it's a pleasure to be here. So I'm going to introduce the guests that I'm so thrilled to chat with today, because not only are they kind of frontline in terms of being in the midst of community works, but they are longtime successful business owners, and I really would love to hear their pearls of wisdom on how things are working for their businesses right now and what they can suggest to ensure that no Black businesses are left behind during these very unprecedented times in the pandemic that we're all facing globally. So first, I'd like to introduce Roger Caeser. He is a man of many talents. He is one of the presidents out of Brampton Toastmasters, and he also has a transport company. So I would like to please introduce you to him. And Roger, can you tell us in a couple of minutes a little bit about what you do? Welcome.
Well, thank you very much, first of all, for having me, Nikki. It's been a little while since we've spoken last. Last time it was face-to-face, and now we are online.
Right.
But nevertheless, it is a pleasure to be here with both of you. My name is Roger Caeser. I am the owner of Caeser Transport Incorporated. I'm also a Toastmaster, as Nikki said. I'm not the president anymore of the club, but I am still a member of the club. Okay. And I am a 3-time international speech champion and have been to the World Championships of Public Speaking 3 out of the last 5 years.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Roger. Appreciate that. And I'd like to introduce you to another stellar guest. She is the founder of Four Streams, Inc. Please welcome JoMarie Burke. How are you doing today, JoMarie?
I'm doing very, very well. Thank you so much for asking, Nikki, and thank you for the invitation. Well, with Four Streams, I help female entrepreneurs start their business, scale their business, help them to gain clarity and traction within the company that is the company of their dreams, really. So I'm so happy to be here and to be able to share my experience and see how we could help our community move forward.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being here. And, just to kind of preface everything, the pandemic has really done a lot of global damage to businesses internationally, but in particular, it's really exacerbated certain conditions to Black entrepreneurs in particular. And I know that women of color have been hit pretty hard, especially out of the pandemic. So Roger, can you describe how the pandemic, how COVID-19 has affected your business?
Well, Nikki, one of the, I guess, the blessings of being in the transportation business is that we were and we are an essential business. So we continue to run throughout the pandemic, and the products, most of the products that we deliver are household goods, primarily the household appliances and things of that nature. And plus also we were very much involved in the hospitals, bringing bins and different items that they also needed there. So we continue to work throughout this horrific time. And I would say that we were very blessed in that sense, but I know that it has been a troublesome time for a lot of companies. For us, again, it was good that we were able to go out there and to help the community, help many of the hospitals, and as well helping out with many of the stores that needed products and stuff like that. So we were pretty good overall. Did it hit us in certain areas? Yes, it did. I think it hit everybody in certain ways. But overall, I was very happy with the fact that we were still running throughout this entire time.
Excellent. So yes, you operate an essential service, and yeah. So did you find that that you were overloaded? Was it the same amount of business, or did it go down? Was there any change?
Yes, there was a significant change. Some of our customers closed down because of the pandemic, and then there were other customers that slowed down because their customers were not taking in as much product as normal. So yes, we did slow down a bit, but it seemed overall that we kept on moving, and we're very busy getting those products out to all the customers. But overall, yes, we did have a bit of a snag, so to speak, in the amount of work that we were doing.
Okay, thank you. JoMarie, can you answer the same question?
Yes, actually, it's been quite busy. The pandemic has affected females in very different ways. One of the biggest areas is the obvious one, the fact that kids are home from school. Somebody's got to take care of the children. Somebody's got to help and teach. Not that it's always female, but more often than not, it is the female that would step up to the plate and do that job. So they've had to make a decision whether or not to go back to work or to stay home with their kids. And as a result, because I do help female entrepreneurs, I've found that a lot of ladies are looking at other options. You know, they're realizing I cannot depend on my 9-to-5 job. I've got to look at another option to feed my family. So in the area of consultation, in helping females get started, it's gotten quite busy. I do sit on boards with different organizations. Specifically in one of the boards that I sit on is a retirement home, assisted living really. And that area has been affected dramatically, just in terms of the way that we respond to the crisis that we're currently in, locking down the building, making sure, the visitors stay at home and don't visit, and making sure that everybody is kept safe. So some industries, because I work with many, many industries, there are industries that are being affected in large ways, but in terms of helping businesses start, which is what Four Streams focuses on, it's been busy. It's been very, very, very busy. Yeah.
Okay. In what way? I mean, in what way did you have to kind of innovate to stay busy?
It wasn't even so much innovating to stay busy. Well, you know what? I shouldn't say that, because we've had to move our consulting to a large part online with Zoom and through Facebook groups, and looking at different ways to reaching entrepreneurs, desiring entrepreneurs. So we've had to be innovative in that sense, really leaning on social media to get our message across. So it has affected in that way, but not in a negative way in terms of our numbers going down. Quite the opposite is the truth.
Well, that's excellent. That's excellent. So you're finding that women are turning to you for your expertise and kind of doing that pivot, right? Like we all had to make the pivot, and it's going to the online platform to find multiple ways of acquiring income. Is that correct?
Right. Exactly. Yes. Yes.
Okay. Excellent. Roger, tell me about your experience in terms of getting support. I mean, the federal government has been helpful in some ways in providing some income, but we hear a lot of entrepreneurs, and I'm one of them, who feel still as a small business that they're still falling short, that they're falling behind in terms of governmental supports. How does that fit for your business? Did you need any extra support, or were you able to be self-sufficient in that way?
We were able to remain self-sufficient, and I understand exactly what you're saying, because I do believe that the government has, for the most part, done a good job in helping out small businesses. I think that there could be much more given out in terms of allowing these businesses to stay afloat, because we did see a lot of small businesses falter and fall to the wayside. And that's unfortunate, because this country, this province, it runs on the backs of small businesses. And I think that it was very important that the government lent out its helping hand to help out as much as it could. But there is a lot more that can be done. And for us, it was okay. I think that we were able to sustain what we were able to do. And I know a few of my friends and other colleagues, they did reach out and were very much helped by the government's assistance.
Okay, thank you. And JoMarie?
Yes, exactly the same. We did not have to reach out for government support, but as somebody that's looking at different industries and helping women in other areas, it was a wonderful thing that they had put that plan in place. I think what we really need to look at is how can we support businesses that are brick and mortar? What are the support systems that we could offer to them as they look to transition online? Because in this season, we don't know how long that will last, but they need the tools to figure out how to do that transition, how to still thrive in that arena, which is a very different game from brick and mortar to an online service or product.
Absolutely, and you know, I can attest to that as one of the hats that I wear. I manage a childcare center, and just as you you know, alluded to, we're trying to move learning online. And it's quite an interesting transition, because this is new territory. No one prepared to teach. No one taught us how to teach online at college or university, and vice versa, as you're experiencing as a parent, JoMarie, and perhaps yourself. Learning these skills, Roger. It's really something that we have to be patient with as we kind of renew our minds in terms of how to approach business online or how to teach online. So it's really a big pivot, you know, and I'm amazed at how resilient the children are, because I look at just how they've had to make all these huge leaps in a short period of time and make the adjustments. So it's a lot to say about how they're going to be developing later from this experience as children, when they get older and they're able to recall you know, the COVID-19 and how it affected them in school and in childcare centers. But like I said, there's an amazing hope still. I'm still quite optimistic. But yeah, definitely a lot of opportunities for innovation, you know, when it comes to seeing how you can make those changes in business and in other areas of other sectors of life. So you brought up a really good point, JoMarie, about making sure that no one's left behind, so to speak. So how can we, what do you suggest then are ways that we can help support Black businesses through this pandemic?
Well, you know, honestly, Nikki, a lot of people are talking about, you know, support Black businesses, yes, you know, choose Black businesses if you can, wherever you can, even financial programs to assist those businesses. But I really think that, especially when we're speaking about individuals that have been incarcerated that might need support in terms of how do I navigate the world of work now that I'm free, now that I'm on, you know, I'm able to do whatever I want. I think that we need to find, it's more than just money. It's more than just loans and grants. It's the expertise, the training, the support, not just in the early days, but throughout. We know that 50% of businesses that start in the first 5 years, they're out of business. So taking a really serious look at what are the reasons, what are the gaps in their skill set, in their understanding of business, and how can we fill those gaps to make sure that they are successful? How can we as a community have buy-in, have maybe, you know, skin in the game, so to speak, so that we're not just looking on the sidelines and, you know, answering a phone call and helping where we can, but we're actually in it with them. We're in the trenches with them. So there's a lot of things. I have a lot of ideas, a lot of things that I'd love to see happen. But I don't think that money is the only answer. And I think that what we've done in the past isn't working well.
Why?
Let me say that isn't working as well as I think it could.
And why is that? Please expand.
Yeah, well, just because the stats haven't changed, just because we are still in the same situation that we have been for years and years and years. So I think that there needs to be more support in different areas. We need to look at the individual, their skill set, prepare them better for the road ahead as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. And I don't think that money is the only, I think that's a component, definitely having access to capital, but I don't think that that's the only answer.
Okay, thank you. Roger, can you answer that, please?
Yeah, I was to tie in with what JoMarie said. I think that it's very important that our experiences as business owners are at the forefront as well. It's not about the money. It's about sharing the experiences that we have had as owners. And I look back to even my father and the experiences that he taught me growing up. I think these are the key elements when doing this. And about 2 years ago, I worked with entrepreneurs, startup entrepreneurs in the city of Brampton, working with them, helping them to understand the pitfalls. And I think that's also the key as well. You alluded to the fact that 50% of companies that start off in 5 years are gone. And I think a lot of times people go in with these bright ideas and they think that everything will go according to plan. And then they realize when they get hit in the mouth that it doesn't go as they thought it would. And it's individuals like ourselves that come in and should be there to help. And I think as well, I'll even add to another point in that we as Black people, and I'm going to say it this way, unfortunately, it has to take something happening before we all galvanize together. And I think that too is also one of the problems that we have. Instead of coming together on a regular basis and trying to get those statistics up, we wait until something major happens and then we come together only then. And then when it's over, we seem to disperse. And I think it's important that we start coming together and staying together, like many of the other cultures that do that all the time. And I think that would build those Black businesses, that will build the experiences, that will build the income in our communities as well.
Okay, thank you. COVID-19 was just one of the challenges that we face globally, but in particular to Black businesses. What other challenges have you faced, JoMarie, in your walk as a Black business owner?
Oh, many. How much time do we have?
We got about an hour and a half.
Lots of challenges there, and I mean, I echo even what Roger was saying. The great thing, I'm a daughter of an entrepreneur myself, and the great thing with that is you're able to see the ups and downs, and I was able to watch my mom on her hardest days and how she handled and navigated the system. As a young Black woman, not native to this country, she was able to find her way and still be successful at the end of the day. Challenges that I've had, you know, are a lot of them, honestly, Nikki, is a lot of mindset issues, a lot of mindset problems of, you know, being willing to show up and to fail and fail forward. And to, as Roger was saying, you know, you need to be able to know that it's not all a bed of roses. Entrepreneurs have to have that grit and determination to keep going, even when everything falls apart, when the bank says no, when the deal doesn't close, to be able to still get up, dust yourself off and go at it again and go at it again and go at it again. So mindset is always something that I battle with internally, showing up and doing what I have to do to move forward. Yeah, I mean, outside of the day-to-day operations, the things that everybody deals with, I would say getting over me and understanding that my business does not just serve me, does not just serve my family, is not just legacy for my family that's closest to me, but me showing up is helping a little girl in my community. Me showing up and living out my dream and my passion for my business is not just about me and my family, it's about my community at large. So it's this constant battle and a constant fight internally, but it's one that I'm prepared to walk out regardless, because it's more than just me.
Right. That's great. You know, when you show up to do certain things, you don't know who is looking up to you. So really great points. Roger, have you faced any challenges in your business outside of COVID-19?
Well, I'd even say that with regards to the challenges, one of them is that I am in a business that is predominantly in an industry that is predominantly white for the most part. This is truck drivers and trucking industry over the years has been predominantly based with white individuals on a regular basis. Only recently you've seen a change in that, and a lot of minorities are coming into this business, but there is still that stigma that comes with being a young Black man running a transportation business that is predominantly a white industry. So that is always a battle, and I know this from my father when he was coming up as well. To get those contracts or to get the respect that is needed, those are the issues that we've always had to face until they realize that you know what you're doing, they understand that you value their time, their business, and you show it. So this is my biggest thing, is to constantly be proving myself to customers or new customers that come along and making sure that they understand that I'm more than capable of handling it. And then the other thing I would say is always trying to be a role model, because there are those that are out there that want to get into this business, who have called me, who have reached out to me, and I've sat here in my office from time to time and let them know about what the pitfalls are. And when you show up, as JoMarie said, it allows those other ones that are coming up to understand what you have to go through to make it and to be successful, not only in the field that you're in, but being Black as well.
Thank you so much for that. And I'd like to introduce a very special guest. Andria, are you there?
I am here. Good evening, everyone.
Excellent, excellent. Andria Barrett, she is the president of the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce. Please welcome her to the show. Andria, can you tell us a little bit about your role and what you do?
I will. Thank you so much for inviting me on. My name is Andria Barrett. I'm the president of the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce. We're a national organization with chapters and members right across the country. The purpose for our organization, our raison d'etre, is empowerment through entrepreneurship in the Black community. So we encourage entrepreneurs of all stages and ages, regardless of sector and industry, to either step into entrepreneurship, or if you're a more mature business, we encourage you to join the chamber so we can support and encourage and motivate in any way we can. We operate like a regular chamber of commerce where we focus on networking, because we know people do business with people they know, like, and trust. We do a lot of advocacy. We go to bat for our members. We'll write the emails, we'll knock on the doors, we'll make the calls. So we advocate on all three levels of the government, municipal, provincial, and federal. We believe in training and workshops. We want to empower and build bigger and stronger and more powerful entrepreneurs. And we also do trade missions. We think it's very important to keep our dollar in the Black community for as long as possible, or much longer than it currently is, not just locally, but also globally. So that is a little of what we do at the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce.
All right, thank you so much for sharing. And Roger and JoMarie so kindly gave us some insights on the experiences they've had through this pandemic. And I'm going to pose the same questions to you, Andria, if I may. How has COVID-19 affected your work with the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce?
Well, Nikki, they say challenge breeds opportunity and innovation, and we have definitely seen that at the chamber. So It's tough, as everyone knows, and we're currently experiencing. The pandemic has devastated some businesses. Some of our members have had to close and fold up. It has created some new businesses. So there are new people coming into the scene based on innovation, trying to come up with an opportunity based on the pandemic. But generally, it's been hard. It's been hard. We've been there supporting our members every step of the way. They have seen significant drops in their revenue. They've had to lay off staff. They've had to, some have pivoted successfully, some have not. We put out a survey when the pandemic first hit to take a look at how people were coping, what their projected revenues were for Q4, what their plans were for 2021. Are they receiving any federal funding? And unfortunately, a lot of our members were not receiving any funding. So that just kicked our advocacy into high gear. But generally, it's been very, very hard for our members and hard for us as a chamber. We're a nonprofit organization. So you can imagine all of our fundraising efforts have been halted. There is no gala. There is no award show. There is no golf tournament. But again, challenges breed innovation and opportunity. So we're encouraging people to think out of the box or think how they can transition, or, if you were dealing with customers locally, is there anything that you can do globally, or is there anything you can do in collaboration with others? But a challenge just like everyone else.
Okay, excellent. Do you have a couple of tips that you can advise us on how we can support Black businesses through your lens of the chamber, or just from your own personal experiences?
Yes, I have a couple of tips. So one is just to try to stay local. So it's very important that we do what we can for our communities. The small businesses, we know, are the heartbeat of the economy. So don't, pay extra attention to those that are really close at home. The restaurants that are in your neighborhood, the restaurants that are in your city. The hospitality industry has pretty much been decimated with the COVID-19. So reaching out to them locally. We all have our favorite restaurants across the city. If you can just really try to patronize the local businesses in your community, that's a strategy that we are encouraging people to employ, because we need to keep the local businesses going, because they're the ones that sponsor the soccer team. They're the ones that sponsor the dance studio. So we need to do what we can in terms of them. And the second tip, or the second strategy we're encouraging, is a lot of collaboration. The only way we're going to get through this is together. So partner up with like businesses that are in the same space, or even your competitor. See what you can do together, offer deals together, and see if there's something that you can do if you satisfy the same customer.
Okay, excellent. Now, I'm a proud member, and I'm very happy to receive a newsletter on a weekly basis. And I really appreciate all the data that you collect and you provide to help inspire and to get some facts in terms of getting loans, or finding places where you can be educated and inspired online. So how can people become members?
Well, thank you for saying that. And we're very proud to have you as a member of the Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce. I would encourage everyone, member or not member, to visit our website. It's www.blackchamber.ca, www.blackchamber.ca. I'm not sure if most people know, but October is Small Business Month. So there's a lot of energy, focus, and funding available for this month for different opportunities in different sectors. So please come visit our website, or reach out to us by email or phone. We'll happily give you some information. I also want to mention that the last week of October is Canadian Black Business Week. So that is a week that we designated where we are highlighting and spotlighting and giving a platform to Black entrepreneurs right across the country. So we are hosting some panels, we're doing some events, we're supporting Black female entrepreneurs, we're supporting junior entrepreneurs, we're focusing on arts and business and culture. So I'd encourage everyone to visit our website, find out more about the events and programming for next week. And like Nikki said, sign up to our newsletter. There is, what I've learned at this chamber is, you don't know what you don't know. And I feel like a lot of our members were in that space. There are funding opportunities out there that a lot of us are not or were not aware of. So as the chamber, we have sort of tapped into some networks and can provide guidance and opportunity on where people can get help. Remember, we're in this together. So whatever we can do to support you, please reach out and let us know.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Andrea. Now, aside from being the president, do you have your own business?
I do. I run a speakers bureau. So it's called the Diversity Agency. I represent diverse voices across the country. So matching speakers with event planners or trade shows or organizations just to get more Black speakers an opportunity and a platform to tell their great stories and share their wisdom and expertise.
Okay. And
I'm gonna have to connect with her.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to connect with her.
Definitely. We'll share each other's contacts after the show. But I was going to ask you, have you faced any particular challenges outside of COVID as a business owner, Andrea?
Yes. So, not dissimilar from our members, it's access to capital and access to information. So, again, pre-Canadian Black Chamber of Commerce, it really is, you don't know what you don't know. Nikki, there are opportunities and there are networks, there are contacts, there's funding out there that is almost, it seems like it's unattainable, but it's just because we don't know, we don't have access. So I equate that to, they used to say a lot of deals were made on the golf course. So if you're not golfing, you don't know about these deals. When board positions become available, if you're in that network, that's how you hear about it. When they're looking for tenders or they're looking for a new company to be a part, to do a bid, if you're not in that network, you're not aware of these opportunities. So that was I recognize that as my challenge when I had started, not having the right network or getting access to the right information. And then, as a small entrepreneur with not a ton of money, it was a challenge, just like it is for most small businesses.
Excellent. I was in a speaking engagement, and they were asking the question, is an entrepreneur born, or is an entrepreneur nurtured into becoming an entrepreneur? I would have to say that you kind of have to be born that way. There's certain innate traits in an entrepreneur. What would you say to that, Roger? Are you born, or is it nature or nurture?
I think you. I don't know if I can say it's maybe a little bit of both, because I would say that, for one, I always knew that I was outgoing. There was a time when I was shy, but there was that part of me that always was an outgoing person who wanted to be in a field that would allow me to grow that way. I didn't start, and this is why I say it's a little different for me, because I didn't start working in the family business. I always wanted to be an accountant, and that was what I wanted to be. I was not going to change that for anything. And then you reach into university and realize that's not what I want. It's not who I am. You start to grow into the type of person that you want to be. And I was a very outgoing person, and marketing suited me a lot better. That's where I was able to help my father with this business, was trying to get the marketing up and changing the logo, changing the way it was seen. And that invigorated me and it excited me. So that was where I started to thrive. So I'd say that it had a little bit to do with both.
Okay, thank you. JoMarie?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Both my parents are entrepreneurs, so I don't know if it was a gene that they gave me, or just seeing their experience and the freedom that they had, and the joy that they had doing the thing that they loved every single day. It was contagious.
Yes.
So maybe a bit of both. Yeah.
Okay, good. Andrea?
I think that's interesting. I think entrepreneurs are born. Great entrepreneurs are nurtured. So this really isn't for everybody. Being an entrepreneur is not a 9-to-5 job. I think I got up at 6 this morning, and I'm still going. So it's totally not 9-to-5. There's no guaranteed income in the first month, first year even. And sometimes you're like the accountant, you're the customer service manager, you're the accounts payable clerk, and the CEO all at the same time. It's not for everyone. You got to roll up your sleeves, and you have to not be afraid to fail and learn how to iterate and learn how to take constructive criticism and learn how to make no money sometimes for a little bit of time. So I think, if we start off like rocky and rough, but if it's like you've got the guts and the heart for it, you just keep going, and hopefully you find great mentors or a great networking group or a great support system that can help you. And then you take a lot of great workshops, get some coaching, and invest in yourself. And then that's how you can become a great entrepreneur. But you need to not be afraid to fail. You not be afraid to, discontinue SKUs or discontinue your iterate your business model. It's okay to make changes and learn from that, but I don't think it's for everybody.
Okay, what would you say to that, Roger?
First of all, I'd say that it's true. It's not for everybody. Not everybody's cut out for being an entrepreneur. It's a lot of work. There's a lot of times, and I've seen it with my father and my mother as well, where they are sitting there scratching their heads, wondering when the next dollar is coming in. And then there are times when I've seen that myself in this business. There are good years, and then there are poor years. And the strong survive, as they say. And when those moments happen, it really brings out your true character as an entrepreneur. Some people fold and they cannot handle that pressure. And there are others that take it and thrive with it and try to make the best of it. And I think that's what it comes down to. So no, not everybody can be an entrepreneur and survive it. You really, really have to understand the true pressures of being in this position, and also understand that when you're good, save as much as you can. Save as much as you can in those times, because when it gets low and then you have those moments where you're struggling, that's where you have to really pull your socks up and try to push to get there back on top.
Right. Really good points. Yes, I think almost every entrepreneur experiences feasts and famines, right? But like you said, when you have a storehouse of funds put away through those famines, then you can make it through. And I always tell people, when they ask me, about the longevity of my media company, which has been 12 years. And I said, well, it didn't happen overnight. Overnight successes actually take maybe 8 to 10 years to actually manifest to what you're seeing right now. So I just always advise people to be patient in the process, because it does take a lot of perseverance. And I think one of the biggest lessons I learned as an entrepreneur was to ask for help. I thought I could wear all those hats and do it effectively, but one area will burn out and harm the other once you don't kind of put the right processes and people in place to support and elevate what you're doing. JoMarie, what would you say to that?
Yeah, I completely agree. I think you're bang on. I'm a victim of burnout myself. You feel like you've got the S on your chest. I could do it all. You
got the cape.
And there's nothing wrong with asking for help, with getting the support that you need so that you could stay in your area of genius, the thing that's actually driving the engine and creating those sales and moving your business forward. So wherever you can, hire. We're getting somebody to do something that might be a tedious task is very easy nowadays. We have the internet. You could go online and hire someone in a different country and pay pennies on the dollar and save yourself that time. You almost have to pull back and say, okay, what is my hour worth, right? If I could get somebody else to do that job that's going to take me 2 hours and it costs me a few dollars, and now I'm able to refocus my attention on the creative piece, the things that are actually bringing revenue in, that's a better use of my time, right? The other thing, just to jump on what you said, is talking about saving during those lean years, I also want to encourage people to not eat their seed. Sometimes we have the good year and we take that money and all of a sudden we're buying houses and cars and all these other things. We need to take that as seed and pour it back into our company so that it brings and it yields even more in the future, till you're at a position at a time when it's right to make those types of moves. Sometimes we move a little bit too quick, or we get that success really early and we think this is it. No, there's so much more.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you. I'm going to ask you a question about who has inspired you to become an entrepreneur. I can say for myself that my grandparents inspired me. They were amazing entrepreneurs, and then inspired their children who took over the business. But Andria, who inspires you, or who inspired you to start your business?
You know, Nikki, it was my grandmothers. So paternal grandmother and maternal grandmother. So didn't spend a lot of years with them, but they were both entrepreneurs. And so, you know, from the Caribbean, both fabulous women from Jamaica, doing what they needed to do to take care of their family. The next generation there were no entrepreneurs. My parents are not entrepreneurs. They're hardworking, dedicated employees, or they were that type, hardworking, dedicated employees. And it was actually, you know, watching them be employees, working really hard, but not getting to pursue their dreams and doing what they wanted to do, that really motivated and lit that fire in me. You want to, you know, reach for your dreams and fulfill your passion, and then make your own income. So that is what motivated me.
Excellent. Roger?
Oh, for sure, it was my mother and my father. When they started this business, especially with my dad, I used to watch him get up 3 o'clock in the morning and get home at 11 o'clock at night sometimes. And then my mom as well, just being the cheerleader and also the backbone, so to speak. I think watching them work together and be such a powerful team, that was encouraging as well for me. And like I said, I didn't want to in the beginning. I knew it was always there, but I wanted to pursue my own dreams. But watching them work hard together, one always being there for the next. If my father faltered, there was my mom to pick him up, and vice versa. I love that. And I love the way, and I'm going to piggyback off of what JoMarie said. I loved when they were having fun, when they were laughing and they were enjoying those moments when they had good times. But I also respected them when they were sitting there in the living room trying to figure out how to get through those tough times and working together. That encouraged me to do the same, to start to really take this seriously and to enjoy it for what it is and understand that it's mine. Yeah. And that's key. It's mine. And no matter how many times it may be hard, or I might have moments where I'm questioning or doubting myself, I always go back to the fact that it's mine, it's helping others, it's helping my family, and also looking at what my parents were able to achieve.
Okay, excellent. JoMarie?
Easily my mom. Easily my mother. She is my hero. She's the wind beneath my wings. She's my everything. Like Andria, my background, my mom is Jamaican, at least. My dad's from Trinidad, but she came here in her 20s, and just her tenacity. And, you know, when you kind of look back, things are a lot easier now in 2020 for female Black entrepreneurs. It wasn't like that in the 70s and 80s.
No.
You know, she was a nurse by trade and had to take care of 2 small kids, and decided to open a nursing agency because she couldn't do the hours that it required for nursing. Pivoted from there and started doing real estate, got loans from the bank when nobody was lending to this little Black girl from Jamaica, right? Like, just tenacity and her determination to move forward in the face of all of the odds. Like, she's a double minority. Yeah, so she moved from there. She bought a lot of buildings in the city, had real estate all over the city. Now she has apartment buildings, and it's just everything. Every time I hit my head against the wall and I'm stuck, she's the one I call. She has been my counselor, my confidant, my best friend. So easily it's been my mom, to see her ups and her downs. And she shared that with me so that I could know that I'm not alone, that our struggle is universal, but that you could make it through the struggle. It's not the end. And if you have a dream and a goal and a passion and the willingness to do the work, it could happen.
Thank you so much. Andrea, what's your definition of success? What's your formula for success, whether it be professional or personal?
Ooh, Nikki, that's a good question. I think I find personal and professional success. It's not monetary, so it's not, 7 figures or 8 figures. It is, going home with a smile. It is going to bed feeling good. It is feeling that you've accomplished something great. You've impacted somebody positively. You are comfortable in your surroundings. You feel mentally, physically, and emotionally secure in what you're doing for the world in your profession, and you go home feeling good. I want to go home feeling good that I've contributed to society or to the economy and to my family. That's my definition of success.
Fantastic. And Roger?
Success is hard work, determination, and the willingness to be humble. I think that's another factor that we haven't touched on, but being humble about the successes that you do have and the things that you have in general. I always feel that at the end of the day, when I go home, if I can say that I've touched someone's life in some way, shape, or form by the work that we do here, then I've done a good job. And I look at my employees who work diligently and hard every day to get the products out there, to do their jobs well. And to me, it's so important. And success is, again, not monetary for me. Success is how much we move others, how much we actually move others, and how much we are doing for others. That's the determination for success for me. And if I can definitely feel good about that, I'm fine. That's my success to me.
Thank you. And JoMarie?
Yes, I agree with the panelists, Andrea and Roger, absolutely, that success has nothing to do with money. It's not the amount of commas in my bank account. It's so much more than that. One of the pillars at Four Streams is live full, die empty. And so my definition of success is when I've made a decision as to what my life is going to look like, and I make a commitment to pour out everything inside of me and leave it all on the table. And so that at the end of my life, so that when I draw the last breath, I could say that I've given all of it. I'm dying completely empty because I gave everything that I had. Every dream, I walked it out. Every passion, I lived it. That I have no regrets. That for me, that's complete success.
Excellent. Well, I'm so grateful for your time tonight to share your insights, and I know that I've learned more about you, and I'm sure the viewers have even more kind of questions for you, depending on the type of interest they have. So let's close tonight with a little bit of advice for those who are trying to cope through this pandemic and their businesses. What would you advise them? And also let us know where people can reach you on social media. Roger?
Well, I would say first and foremost to anyone who is trying to survive throughout this pandemic to understand that we are human beings. And human beings, we tend to oftentimes discredit how powerful we are as humans, how much we can handle. And we're talking about businesses now, but we also talk about the mental health and other aspects of it. We have to understand that we are strong individuals. Human beings are strong. And work-wise, if you put in the work, there are going to be times when it's going to be tough. It's going to be hard. We're going to have challenges. But if you put in the work and you understand the value of those around you, to ask for help, to know that they are around to help you if you are struggling, I think that is one of the key points, especially at this time, this crucial time. And as my grandmother would say, is when you rise, lift others with you. It's very important to do that. Always, always. We are successful in our own rights here. And I congratulate each of the ladies here on this panel for the successes that you have. But with that success comes giving others opportunity and helping them. And during this time, that's what we also have to do. And if we are struggling, look to those people that we know who we can trust and respect as well. I think that's key. And what was your other question? Where you can find me? You can find me on LinkedIn and as well on Instagram. My handle there is Caesar.empire. That's CAESAR.empire. Not much of a Facebook guy, but that's where I am right now.
Okay, thank you so much, Roger. And JoMarie?
Yeah, I would just add to what Roger has said. I think the good thing and the bad thing about the situation we're in right now is that it is global. I think that's a good thing when you realize you're not alone. You know, regardless of what industry you're in, you are not alone. So the challenges that you're facing, the revenue slowdown that you're experiencing, you're not in an isolated situation. There are millions of people in the same boat. Reach out and get the support that you need. Don't just be on an island on your own and have to close your doors. There is help. You know, Andria mentioned so many resources at the Black Chamber of Commerce. There's so many things out there that is available to you. Reach out to professionals and get the support that you need so that that is not your reality. We're all here. We're all here to help. All of the people on this panel are here to support you and to help you as you journey through this season. And we're going to get out of it. It's going to be okay. We're going to be on the other side and things will get better. It will not last forever. So just be encouraged that this is just for a season. How do you reach me? The best way to get me is on Instagram, and the handle is 4 Streams Inc. So FOURSTREAMSINC.
Thank you so much. And Andria?
I'm going to echo what Roger and JoMarie had mentioned. You are definitely not alone. It's rough. We're having a hard time, but reach out to everyone and anyone you can. You need some help. You just need a moment. You need to vent. Find another entrepreneur, find a friend, call me, call anybody in the chamber. We're happy to help. And I want also people to remember we're business people, we're entrepreneurs, but we're people. So make sure you take time and you're working on your mental health and you're not working all the time. I find that during this pandemic, everyone is like taking it to 11. We're all working overtime. We're working really hard. We're taking care of ourselves and our family. Take some time for you. You know, walk away from the computer, turn off the Zoom call, exercise, drink some water, meditate, do what you need to do to recharge your batteries because we're in this for the long haul. And you can find me on LinkedIn, Andria with an Barrett.
Okay, and can you mention the
I think Nikki was going to say, can I mention Canadian Black Business Week starts on Monday. For more information about what we have planned, some great activities, some great speakers, you can reach us at www.blackchamber.ca. We're kicking off with a panel on Monday. We're wrapping up with a networking and a happy hour and some cocktails on Friday.
Excellent.
All virtual, of course.
Well,
so please reach out to us.
Thank you so much.
If you have any questions or you'd like to learn more about the programming. Oh, and one more thing. I want to mention one thing real quick. The federal government recently announced a $221 million Black Entrepreneurship Fund. So they're working on it now. More details will come out in the next few months, but sign up to our newsletter or stay in touch with us because as Black entrepreneurs, I want everybody who's listening and everybody who's on this panel to be in a position to benefit from the funding, the research that's going out, and any Black-led organizations. There is opportunity to get funding. So stay in touch and keep your eyes open for more announcements on the Black Entrepreneurship Fund.
Okay. I want to thank you all again. Thank you so much, Andria Barrett, Roger Caeser. Thank you very much. JoMarie Burke, really appreciate your time. I really appreciate your wisdom with us tonight. And I'm Nikkie Clarke. You can reach me online, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, and my website is the Nikkie Clarke Network. So looking forward to hearing from everyone. And please stay safe and stay strong. And just like everyone shared, we're in this together. So keep on keeping on. All right, you've been with us tonight. Thank you so much for your time. The Keep Six original series. We're back again next week, Thursday at this time. Take care. All the best. God bless you.